Take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern, and we are so glad you've taken time out of your day to spend with us. Now, of course, remember, you can watch full episodes on our YouTube channel or at rightonthemoneyshow.com. Now, today I am pleased to be joined by our friend Nyles Gentz, founder of Gentz Financial Services. Nyles, great to see you.
Good day. How are you?
Fantastic. How are things up there in Minnesota?
Well, as we're recording this, it's hot out. So like I said before, it'd be nice if it was snow on the ground, a little cooler, but we'll have to wait for that.
The only guy wishing for winter, but you know what? It does get a little hot. Now, before we get started, I want to dive into a couple things, but if I'm not mistaken, you just opened a new office. Was that earlier this year?
We opened another office out in Litchfield, which is about 45 miles west of the Buffalo office. Monica Schreiber runs that for us. And so we have an office, Litchfield, St. Cloud, Buffalo, where we're recording this, and Elk River. Let's
just jump right in because there's some big topics that I want to talk about. And the first one, of course, the thing on everybody's mind is the pandemic. And you counsel hundreds, if not thousands of clients. What advice are you giving right now during the midst of this, historical, unprecedented time?
Well, when everything started, was at end of March, first part of March, something like that. Of course, we didn't close down the offices, but we kind of scattered staff amongst the offices. So one advantage of having 4 offices, we could have them all manned with people, but we didn't have to be with each other. Then we reached out to all of our clients. Nowadays with automation, it was easy to send an email out to everybody, basically saying we were open. And we started calling clients. That very first Monday, we started calling clients. The ones that I thought would be more scared or concerned, I should say. So I spent the next 2 months just calling clients on the phone. Denise would have a list of clients for me to call, and then staff was setting up telephone calls for me. So every half hour I would call Dennis, and then I would call Frank, and I would call Natalie. And so I spent 10 hours a day just calling clients on the phone, make sure everybody was okay and everybody was calm. And then we started up having regular appointments like always, of course, the distancing in the offices and keeping things wiped down. And there's still some clients that don't want to come in, so we just talk to them on the phone.
Now, I know you have a big virtual presence. Have you been, how has that helped the business?
Well, if we would go back 5 years ago, if this would have happened, we would not have been ready for it. We didn't send out emails to our clients. We didn't have Facebook presence. We didn't have LinkedIn presence. Our website wasn't as robust as it is now. So as far as timing goes, I think we were ready for it because everything was automated, set up the way it should have been, and really didn't change operations besides just talking to people on the phone versus in person.
Now, the question I have for you, this will be, I guess, we're going to have to take it up to about 10,000 feet, but any particular advice you're giving clients during this pandemic? Stay the course, look for opportunities, or is it, I guess it's probably really varied, wouldn't it be?
Well, what we're telling clients, even though we have this COVID-19 situation, you still have to think about retirement. You still have to think about what retirement's going to look like down the road. You just can't sit back in your house and worry yourself to death. You still have to think about where you want to be at 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And I think people are appreciating that. They're realizing, yep, I still have to retire. I still have to keep track of my investments and my insurance. And so it's been a little challenge, but I think with automation that we have and with the large staff that we have, we're able to keep up talking to everybody.
Now we're heading into a unique, besides the fact that we've had this pandemic and it's been a very interesting year. We sprinkle on top of that, we do have an election year this year. Any trends, any things we should be looking for there? Not looking for any political stuff, but just market and retirement.
The conversation does come up. People want my opinion on the election. Of course, I try not to talk politics in the office because the appointments are anywhere from half hour to hour long. And once you start talking politics, You could be there for days. But we're just telling people, we have an election every 4 years or every 2 years, actually. And whatever happens, you got to kind of roll with the punches. Just realize taxes are a consideration. I'm concerned about all this money the government's handed out the last couple months. How we're going to recoup that money. I know people are spending it back into the economy, or they're supposed to anyhow. So I'm concerned about how we're going to pay back all this money we've lent out. I'm also concerned about the high unemployment rate. Not in our area, actually, in the St. Cloud, Buffalo areas, unemployment. There's companies that are struggling to find people to work. So that's good for us in this area. But across the country, I'm concerned about the high unemployment rate.
Wow, okay, Nyles, I hate to do this. We have to take a quick break, but what I want to do when we come back after the break, I want to talk to you about the search for yield and the advice that you're giving clients right now. You don't want to miss that. We'll see you on the other side of the break.